I don't know what's true and what's not true. And then historians come along and say, yeah, certain elements of that were true. And then I just ask them, well, please do your research, document your facts. And if you do serious research, then I'll believe it. I'm down here taking care of the trees, and then you're here looking at the forest.
Well, I think that's the thing that's so fascinating about this, is that you end up, when you're so close to it, like I think the expression you used when you told me, you said, what was it? You said you were kind of at a low level, and there may have been things going on at higher levels that you weren't aware of.
That's all true.
And going back to the Roger Smith and chaos, the thing that I tend to believe is that the underlying goal, as you kind of described it, of the government was that at that point they were still strongly supportive of the Vietnam War. There was this sense that there was this growing resistance on the part of, the growth of the Panthers, the growth of SDS, right, that there was a burgeoning movement that had to be, in their minds, stopped. All true. And so part of their whole game is to create kinds of, that they did it in Europe. They called it the strategy of tension, where they would create things that would freak out the population, and then it would be blamed on the left. It was created by the right and the government, and that's kind of the idea, is that, the progressive movement was scary to the powers that be. It's exactly like a slippery slope.
Right.
And so if you create incidents that you blame on the left, so you create this raging hippie, and as Manson said, and you see it in the book, Chaos, he said, at some point very cryptically, the U.S. Navy held the purse strings. So part of it is that, Navy held the purse strings. Very possibly Manson was the same parallel universe.
That's
Somebody
what
who was groomed.
that book.
What's that?
That's what the book Chaos suggests.
Well, I tend to believe that story from an array of different things, where I tend to believe that Manson was a project, and he was used in this particular way. Now, obviously, he didn't snitch. They know for some reason, either whether you're going to die, whether your family member is going to be killed, you're not going to snitch. And so, you're used the way you need to be used. So it just makes too much sense. And that's where I kind of believe that story. So on the one hand, the Roger Smith, as a guy who, he's too well positioned to be in that caretaker role. Why would they let him out of prison like that? Why would they let these girls
That's
go
what the
free?
book Chaos says. And what's hard for me is I knew these people so well. And I talked with Roger, and he denied it, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It's